I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode the etchings.
What were you trying to decode?
According to my research, Sergius was buried with the last record of the lost hymn of communion. Unfortunately, it's written in an ancient script that even I can't read. It was obscure even in Sergius's time.
Why does that name look, or grave look so recent if it's already, there's dirt on it and everything? Well.
It's part of my research to reconstruct some of the data that was lost or suppressed after Sergius's condemnation.
Interesting.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper.
Are you certain that he came from the rear fields rather than the mortuary?
Correct.
Oh, so that's a lie on Abraham's part,
Mm-hmm.
where he was coming from that direction.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Really, we know what he was trying to decode. What were you trying to decode?
According to my research, Sergius was buried with a... Yeah, we've already read that.
Okay, written in ancient script, blah, blah. Okay.
Head toward the rear.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
So you instructed Isaac to meet you in the rear field at dusk.
That was the plan, yes. I expected to have found the grave and finished the decoding by this point. Isaac would meet me in the rear field with the bouquet, and we would attend the funeral.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside.
Did you see anyone?
No, I was the only one near the grave.
Very well.
Okay, so
looks
Abraham.
Looks like
Time
things
to
are
go
in order.
contradict Abraham
I spent
about
the
the
remainder of
benches.
the afternoon resting on a bench.
So we're going to contradict his
I
head for the
walked through
benches.
the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Yeah, he observed Abraham coming from the back. Lies unmasked. Lies. You didn't walk through the mortuary after speaking with Nerissa. You passed by the grave. Augustine saw you coming from the back fields.
Fine, I did walk through the backfields. Past the grave I dug. People have always blamed me for things I didn't do, so I didn't think you'd believe me. I'm sorry.
I haven't said I believe you yet, but we'll see. What was in the grave when you passed by it?
Nothing. There was no body, no blood, nothing.
Ah, so at least he isn't claiming he didn't see it. But he is saying that there was nothing there. Ooh, and he has a little bit more.
And dispute rest on bench with head toward rear. Oh, but check this first.
Yes. What else is wrong? Because we only have integrity for him. The last scion. Well, we know that he's the last of his family. As the last descendant of a disgraced noble lineage, Abraham feels owed his family's legacy.
About 100 years ago, the church decided Sergius, my great-uncle, was a heretic, which I suppose he was.
Ah, the very Sergius that Augustine was looking into.
Yep. But ever since, they persecuted my family, confiscated everything we owned, noble to laborers overnight. I'm all that's left of Sergius's line. I took this job to somehow keep working my ancestral lands, one way or another. I was bitter when I started out, but I've discovered the work suits me. Maybe it was all in Einsoff's plan after all.
Interesting. So now we have a new thing here.
Oh yeah.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Oh.
So she was in the middle of a delicate procedure, so I left the way I came in.
What procedure? Did you see what she was doing in the main room of the mortuary?
No, of course not. I didn't see through walls.
Yeah, he can't see through the walls. So he couldn't have seen that. So how about the resting on a bench?
You should probably do
bit?
pass by grave and pass between walls, because we haven't actually heard him talk about either of those. And then down bottom, there.
But this one look, this is corroborated.
They're corroborated, but we've
When I
never heard him
passed by
talk
the
about
grave, it was still empty, ready for the funeral.
Oh. You didn't see the victim, dead or alive, in the rear field at this time, by the grave that you dug.
Nope. I didn't see anybody at all, or anything suspicious either. Sorry.
I walked through the walls to reach the front field. I suppose that's when the scholar saw me.
You didn't encounter the victim in the front field either.
Nope, I told you. I've never seen that boy before we found his body in the grave.
Weird. So was his body in the mortuary the whole time?
Yeah, because nobody ever went to the back, and she met him at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So, contradict his rest on a bench with head
I
toward
spent the
rear?
remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Really? Because...
Contradicts with head toward rear? Because the priest would have gone past him.
Oh, wait. This one?
Yeah.
This one. Lies unmasked. The head towards the rear. Father Augustine claims that he saw you kneeling by the headstone. Admit it, Abraham. You weren't resting at all.
Fine, I had to tend to the grass around the graves. I didn't mention it because I thought it made me look suspicious. At least he's consistent.
Now you've made yourself even more suspicious. In your efforts to conceal what you've done and prevent me from accusing you of lies, you've done the exact opposite. You've lied. Constantly. I'm rather perplexed by this course of thought. Like, really, you can't...
Yeah.
Yeah. Amend your testimony.
Hey, thanks, Muthraka, for the 23-month resub. Yep. And there we go.
Let's see the next layer. Grief. Aw, poor guy.
So ask about the trim grass. Oh, yeah.
Though
That
it was
first and
over
then trim
100
grass.
years ago, Abraham mourns his family's fortunes, so quickly reducing their status.
I will never forget that night. Someone torched our home, trying to burn us alive. Of course, the guards never caught the arsonist. How could they, when it almost certainly was one of their own?
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well
I
ask
had a
him about
sickle
that.
with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
That would make sense. It's why he dropped the sickle before heading back.
Yep. So might as well ask him about it.
So you admit that you had the sickle with you since you left the mortuary?
Yes, I did, and I used it to trim the grass. That's what it's for.
Wait a minute. No.
Yeah?
Could he have really slit the boy's throat after the lady stole his liver?
If he did, it would have actually been around when he finished digging.
And then the lady took his liver?
She could have gone to him with the multi-tool to take the liver.
That could be. Should I ask him about the sickle?
Sure.
I mean, we already asked him about the sickle. We can't contradict him because, yeah, he was... Let's do the rush to the grave.
So just ask.
Then Father Augustine was the one who called for help.
Yeah, same thing. So nothing new there.
Okay, so everyone's corroborated there.
Yeah, so
So really,
It's the question
when
of-
did the boy die? Is my question. It's like up
I bet
here.
he died right where that conflict is.
This conflict.
Yeah, so
Taking
I
a
think what we
break.
need to do is go accuse Narissa, and she'll give us information that lets us accuse Abraham of murdering the guy in that small section right there.
And she
Or-
didn't want the organs going to waste.
Yeah,
Heading to the mortuary, finish digging.
unless there's more in Augustine's timeline. I don't know.
I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
Trimming grass, search outside, head towards the rear, waiting for the scanner. Yeah, I don't see Augustine doing this. But who knows? So you want us to accuse Nerissa?
Yeah.
But will we get the wrong answer if... I mean, both Abraham and Nerissa are extremely...
It said in the tutorial that
It took me a little while.
you
but
can
I
accuse
found
as many
it.
times as you
The
want.
grave of Sergius.
Yeah, you could try asking about the conflict.
Oh, just that he must have died in the
Then I
grave.
passed through the graveyard until I saw the
Perhaps it's true I wasn't there. Taking a break, unverified. Despite a conflict with other testimonies. Okay. Took a long break while digging. It was within my rights. But where would he have taken the break?
If
Finished
you click on the
digging.
Abraham timeline, you can see where he took a break.
Well,
I
it's
think
right
he was
here.
just
Took a
standing
long
next
break
to
while
the
digging.
grain.
It's within my rights. There wasn't
Yeah.
anyone else around, so it was
No one
nice
else
and
around.
peaceful.
And so that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
No one else around.
No one else around. No one else to corroborate. Yeah, really, it's...
So,
Did Isaac die when he showed the bouquet, or when...
so...
Hmm?
I don't know.
Wait, if she was looking for the multi-tool when he passed by the grave,
Oh, you're right.
why don't we go here?
Yes.
When I passed by the grave,
So,
it was still empty, ready for...
no.
sure, that
You
person-
have to switch to Nerissa.
Ah, okay, fine. Return.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over.
Don't see how that contradicts. No.
Yeah, because she was looking for the multi-tool inside.
She was. And he was trimming the grass out in the
You
front.
should pause it. Yeah.
So there was no way. Would he have been seeing him trimming the grass, though?
So I bet it's those
I
big
placed my
open
sta-
spaces.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Nah, don't know what he's asking. So it's not that.
Yeah.
He was
so,
just waiting for the scanner. He was trimming.
So I think we need to either poke holes in her looking for the multi-tool.
Or the admiring the statue for this extended period of time.
I don't.
Arriving for the funeral.
I feel like Augustine just sets the schedule for where Abraham is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nerissa proves that she didn't kill the boy.
But still took his liver.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that we could say, you know, why are these livers switched? You know what I mean?
So I think that's the point. When we accuse her, motive, cannibal?
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work.
I don't know.
I tried searching
You can
outside,
try to
but
accuse her.
I couldn't find.
If you think I did it, then tell me. How could I have done it? Do you see a weapon anywhere?
No, the multi-tool. Shell, what are you doing?
What is this?
Means multi-tool.
Don't we click on it?
Yes, you did, and then you hit return.
No, she...
And you hit return again.
No, she won't let me...
Go to means,
and then I
and
click.
then multi-tool.
Okay, sorry. You're becoming a little irritable.
I told you I'm going to be irritable, but I'm telling you
I wish
exactly
that-
what to do,
I
and
wish
then you're
that what they
adding
do
extra
is that when
steps.
you click on this, it either shows times or it shows this highlighted. Like that they changed color to like prompt you to choose one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the multi-tool. The surgical multi-tool. It's designed for precise incisions into hardened tissue. It could have sliced through a living body with ease. Besides, nothing else could have allowed the killer to seal the wound on the victim's stomach. Opportunity. Preparing the body occupied me the entire afternoon. When could I have done such a thing?
Search outside.
And she looked outside. Sister Ada, no one could have killed a victim in that time. Father Augustine discovered the body shortly afterwards, did he not? He could have seen the culprit carrying the body to the grave and running away. preparing the body occupied me the entire afternoon. Oh, it would have been when the boy showed her the bouquet.
Okay.
You killed Isaac when he was visiting the mortuary to fetch the bouquet. I admit he came by, but he left shortly afterwards. If he died in the mortuary, why was his body found in the grave? Because his body was moved. This is when it happened. Oh, so this is when it happened. Am I supposed to choose when it was moved? When she tried finishing embalming. Or search outside.
Search outside, yeah.
After you dismissed Abraham, you weren't searching for the multi-tool. You dragged the victim's body to the grave, hoping to bury it before anyone arrived.
Then motive cannibalism.
I never even met the victim before today. Why would I want to kill him? What would I gain? Mate.
So, no, psychological evidence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's saying so.
Carnivore?
No,
or cannibal? Cannibal. Present. Your austere childhood has led you to develop a deep craving for exotic meats, especially a certain rare flesh that had sustained you in times of need. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you, day in and day out. You were so virtuous for so long. You would handle the organs as part of preparing the bodies. You could easily imagine the taste, the texture, yet you resisted. Then Isaac arrived, and the daemon spoke. You could no longer ignore your hunger. A fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips. It would be so much tastier than the cold entrails you'd handled from corpses. All you had to do is slit open his stomach, like you've done hundreds of times before.
J'accuse.
Ainsuf sees all, Nerissa.
She even has the
Told
bloody
ya.
face under the mask. Well, we knew it was her, but for some reason Abraham's testimony was weird too. Like, why would the boy also have a slit in his throat? I wonder if that's something that she's going to bring up here.
No, she killed him with the she killed him, and then after he was dead.
Sealed up the lower wound, hoping that Abraham would be...
She slit his throat, took the liver.
Yes. Put the other liver back, sealed him up, but was she hoping to frame Abraham? Is that what this is all about?
I'm honestly not sure.
Ainsuf sees all, Nerissa.
You are the only person who could have killed Isaac. Do you deny it?
Curse you, and curse Ainsuf. How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering? Where was Ainsuf when my family was dying in the street, chewing on leather just to live another day?
The famine was a test, Nerissa. Ainsuf wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you haven't eaten for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Nerissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you. Confess, Nerissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
Oh, interesting. So we play through everything again?
Yeah, so just hit play
Early
probably.
this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. When I brought him to the bouquet table, I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly. I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly. Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were returning, and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline. In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later. I wanted to savor its deep, rich flavors. Sooner than I anticipated, I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
Well, let's see who's inside.
Marissa's wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence. I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out and be banished to the ether. Ain Suf, guide me. What daemon has possessed Nerissa?
Not this guy.
It's Beelzebub.
Not the vengeful. Beelzebub, the gluttonous. Yep. Debilitates, consumes stranger and filthier things until nothing remains of their humanity. Speak the name.
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
Huh. Look at that. It looks like there's some mechanized gauntlets and...
Yeah.
Huh.
It's Bane, but it's Hungy Bane.
No! We must feed! Nerissa, delicious, scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
Hunger is a primal need. Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter. We feed on you, the meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the ether, and never come back.
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast.
Tonight, he says.
Yep.
This is already sundown.
Yep.
So,
Ada, you juicy little morsel. We shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
Nerissa. Do you hear me, Nerissa? Was I too late?
Does nothing remain of your soul?
Goodbye, Nerissa. May Ain Suf make you whole again.
So this is the power of an exorcist. I've dreamed of seeing this.
I almost wonder if
looks
he's
a bit
Lucifer.
different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
What, he really wants that spear or something?
Maybe.
Ada, look out!
Oh, is she gonna try to munch on her?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Halt, Nerissa! Good. I've stunned her. Are you all right, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time. My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Sof, save us! Another possession! Another killing! How is this possible? Who is responsible? Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada. She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame. The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed, you are risking all their lives.
No, Father, you must stay the course. We've worked too hard for this moment.
Yeah, it's one of those two. It's gotta be.
I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned.
But look at this indecipherable ancient language of a heretic person from this old family. What is this hymn of communion?
I feel like...
Is it something to bring demons into the world or something?
Yeah, I feel like Augustine is super suspicious.
They said that they would be gathering, that tonight the gates would open. I think the hymn of communion is just a way to allow demons into the world.
This chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetimes.
A century? Interesting. It's also...
Yep.
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Sof.
That sounds... No, that's... If anything, it might be... Yeah, something contrary to her spell, whatever she had used to seal the demons away.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar. You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted. How do we know this supposed exorcist is not the pawn of Lucifer?
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
Wouldn't that be weird if she has the embodiment of... No, she wouldn't have the embodiment of wrath in her.
No.
That would be weird. Because it was really just Lucifer, wrath, Beelzebub is gluttony, and then envy was Lotan.
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons? She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. How would we know?
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Sof. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case.
Yep. Sowing lies and deception.
They're doomed.
I don't want you at the Mass. If you truly believe Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him. Search the grounds as you like, but stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell.
Wow.
Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn. Especially after the events of today, Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories. Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare. Very wise, Father. As always. Farewell, sister.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
But I'm filled with dread.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the lines don't come through.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
And it's interesting, yeah, some of the lines are acted, but most of them aren't. But
I wish
that's okay for us.
I wish all of the lines were, but this is a small indie game, so I totally understand why it isn't.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass. Stay vigilant.